Hey, what's up? Raider Bear Live, Raider Bear. Me, this guy. Consider a subscription to Raider Bear family page. It's just $5 a month and you can cancel at any time. But you won't want to because we've got some serious stuff scheduled in the future that we're going to be doing just for subscriber fans. It's going to be a lot of fun. So check us out, Raider Bear Live, Raider Bear family page. Without further doing, and the Mark Davis comment is still on the page because he's still stupid. Until he stops doing that. It's not coming. Raiders! It's not coming down, was what I was going to say. To hell with that. Okay? He's a joker. And not in a good way. Not the Batman catch him kind. He's just a clown. Oh, please excuse me. Hold on. Raiders! I'm a little pent up, okay? I've missed a couple days. I'm on doctor's orders. Well, not tonight, I'm not. I got the clean bill of health. You always get the bill. You know what I mean? Let's go. No. No. Okay, look, calm down. Tommy, calm everybody down. Okay, you tell mommy and grandpa to bring it down a little bit. Woo! Often imitated, never duplicated. That fool with no hair, that shouts like Ric Flair. Woo! Notice how I rolled the R there? Pretty good, right? The Raider Bear! Raiders! That one was for you, Dad. So what's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Appreciate you all tuning in for your dude, Raider Bear Live. For those of you who were wondering what happened to me, the rumor that I was like 50 Cent, coming out of this little coach, play coach store in the mall, I was like sultry, walking like, like us pimps do. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. Just sounded good. Anyway, and I just took rounds like I was 50 Cent, but I survived them all, and I'm here. And when I say rounds, I mean verbal rounds. It got bad, but Bear came out on top, as usual. Tradish! Raider Bear Live, first comment, woo! MVP tonight goes to Bob Stannard. Bob, it's not enough, okay, that you stole my baseball player. It's not enough that your team now is like beating everyone, but now you want to mess around and win my medal too. Really? You don't got to no. And stop smiling. No, stop it. It's not funny. Well, it is now, but Second place, my silver medal. Whew, I love it when a lady slides into the sausage fest. That is often what is referred to as my medal round because there's so many dudes. Tony Carpenter Evans. I root for Tony Carpenter Evans in everything. Okay, I hope her sons know what kind of mama they have, okay? Your mom is dope. Third place, my bronze medal goes to, wow, two ladies tonight. Corinna, woo, Trujillo. Done. Kidding. YouTube. Jim Vanderlyn, who's actually on both. He watches me on YouTube and Facebook simultaneously trying to help a bear. How come more you can't be like Jim? Okay? Put butts in you. Okay? You need to get on YouTube and like me on YouTube and subscribe on YouTube because it costs you nothing but your time and patience. And I will take that, throw it in a blender, chew it up real nice, and then give it back to you. Okay? And you'll like it. It'll be good. I promise. John LaJoy, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. You are our silver medalist tonight on YouTube. And third and last but not least, Steven Shaw. And Steven, I got you. All right, so what's up, everyone? Welcome to the show. Shane Street, I see you there. It's my guy right there. Robert Cortez, what's up, brother? Bear. That's all he said. So I always feel like I have to repeat it. It's like people want to hear me shout it out when they come in and just say bear. So I just let it go. Bob Standard said, I'm glad you're back. I appreciate that, brother. I'm glad to be back. Stephen Shaw, right there. What up, bear? I like that. Hi, Kim. What's up, Kim Calhoun? Appreciate you. Here's my guy, Mr. Raider Bear. I missed you. I'm glad you're feeling better. Tommy, I'm not feeling just better. I'm feeling energized. It's been nice because I was okay a couple days ago, but then Doc said, no, don't come back, pretty good. Come back 1000% Raider Bear. And I was like, okay. And then he got me kind of motivated to do it. So I'm feeling real good. So remember that, Tommy, when people are professionals and they're helping us with things that they understand, even if what they're saying might frustrate us, we accept it and we take it and we go do it. Always take good care of yourself. H. Gonzalez 575 in the house. What's up, man? Welcome to the show. So, okay, real quick, I'm just going to throw this out here, and then I'm going to take some of your questions and go over some of this stuff. But the locker room attitude has taken a hit. The torpedo hit in the locker room. Now, what does that mean necessarily? It's not an insult to the team, but what it does mean is the Chandler Jones stuff, the lawsuits against Mark Davis, him being seen now twice on camera, shouting at fans and then shouting about Josh McDaniels when he just told all of us to smarten up, which I don't know what that means. You know what I mean? I mean, we hear the words. What is he talking about? The very next weekend, he's yelling at the guy just like we are, but you're the one that can do something about it. You know what I mean? I know financially, from what we're being told, I'm never comfortable when it's money. You know what I mean? Like if you say, oh, well, Mark Davis would get out of this deal if he could just pay this guy off. Well, I mean, can he really not pay them off? And you know me, I do all this stuff for a living. I've been on Mark Davis for 9 years, but I can tell you the guy has other revenues to make money. If he really wanted to fire Josh McDaniels, he could do it. You know what I mean? There's bank loans and interest stuff, and there's stuff he could do with other wealthy people. He could do it. You know what I mean? He could do it, especially if he convinced his other people who bought in, like Tom Brady, who I'm pretty positive he could. If he talked him or tried to talk him into putting a bigger, stake into the Raiders, he would do it. I think the thing with Tom Brady is pretty real. I really do. And on top of that, the whole, I don't know, for those of you who don't know, there have been stories and rumors that Tom Brady hasn't sort of signed at the dotted line. That's not true. What this real story is that he had other financial matters, just like anyone else would, with these large sums of money that have to do with banks and things. And it just takes time. And from what I understand, they did some things that they weren't supposed to do, made mistakes that you can't admit because it just sounds stupid. It's dotting I's and crossing T's. So they have to go back, start certain parts over. And then legally, it's all going to go through. Tom Brady's not going anywhere, unfortunately. It would have been nice if we found out he wasn't going to be able to buy the team. But yeah, they're just getting themselves together. David Sosnowski said, Bear, we're obviously about to go on a run here and win 4 of 5. Is it fool's gold? No, it's not fool's gold. Not at all. Let's look at it real quick. Okay, so first, we have to go deal with the Patriots. We're going out on the road for that one. Then we come back for the Chicago Bears. Now, honestly, I would feel comfortable looking past the Patriots. I don't feel like the Patriots are really playing hard football. I don't think emotionally they're into it. I think the guy that made that work really was Tom Brady. And I hate saying that, and I've said that many times, but any analysis you do that goes back to when Tom Brady left until now, it was obvious that all the years of winning for the Patriots were in part because they were cheating, but also in part because he knew that offense backwards and forwards. He studied defenses all the time to look at how they shift and try to confuse you. And then he would learn it. And the guy was good. I mean, there's just nothing you say about that. You know what I mean? I don't like him. I don't like his character. If you know your team is cheating, you shouldn't be okay with that. And that's how I am. I would. No, I don't care if we're playing Monopoly and I've got Park Place. If I cheated to get it, I'm giving it up. I'm just saying. Okay, moving forward. So the Patriots will go down. Now we come back on a high. We're playing at home. That could be interesting. Get the Bears, early morning, 10 a.m. game. Okay, so that's 2 right there. Now the Lions, that's a tough one, but we're at home. So if you want the betting advantage, you always want there to be something there. Well, in this one, even though the Lions are a little bit hot right now, we'll be coming in off 2 wins and an opportunity to make it 3. So I could see us giving them a hard game. If we were on the road, I'd be worried about the Lions. I'm just being honest with you. If I was a betting man and we were on the road for that game, I would have taken the Lions. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to go ahead and call that 3 in a row, but only because we're at home. And let's see, that's Monday Night Football. That's going to be good. Okay, now right after that, this would complete the 4-game sweep if we can get the Giants. And let's see. Well, dang. Okay, so we're on the road for the Giants. Dang. I don't like the Giants. I like us against them, but they feel like a wild card team. You know what I mean? They feel like a landmine team. I would argue that our win against Green Bay was that very thing. Green Bay was the kind of team with that kid at quarterback that they were either going to explode or suck. You know what I mean? There's no in between. You know, they're playing off emotion and trying to get to know each other really fast. It doesn't matter how long he's been on the team. He's the captain now. It's different. You know, he's the leader, the quarterback. So it's a little different. So I'm going to say, and I'm also a gambling man. I don't like those odds. Well, the Patriots game against the Raiders, the very next game is the one that worries me. If we're going to lose one of these 4, I would say it's against them because we're going to be on the road. Even though they've been sucking, you know, their coach is smart, you know, and he's going to know Belichick's going to know McDaniels and what he's trying to do. And so I don't know. I worry about our matchup against them. Okay, so let's skip that. Bears, Lions, Giants. I'm comfortable with saying 2-2. Patriots might be a loss. And then Giants might be a loss. But Bears, Lions, I see wins because we'll be at home. Not that home field advantage has been that huge an advantage as far as the crowd, but it has been as far as the team and the players, I think. Okay, let's go. Yep, Shane Street likes it. He says very doable. Todd ECV, good times been settled. Putting foots in him. Ooh. You know what, Todd? Don't get me started, okay? Because I'm ready to put foots in so many people right now. I'm getting sick and tired of hearing about John Gruden coming back to the NFL. There's not a grain, not a itty bitty tiny grain of truth behind any of it. He's in a legal lawsuit with the NFL, but everyone thinks he's just going to the NFL teams and saying, hey, I'd like to turn in my resume. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. God, but you see all these ads, all these things. ESPN says that John Gruden has a 68% chance to join the Saints. What are these odds being based on? It's ridiculous. God, stop it. When you want reality, I tell every Raider fan, when you want the reality and the truth of things, come see me. And I'm not saying I know more than everyone else. It's not that. I'm honest. That's the difference. I see through smoke screens and BS, like the fact that people thought that Dak Prescott was a good quarterback. I was crushing him. I was crushing that guy. Mike Brown, what's up? Welcome to the show. Putting foots in him. Look. Jimmy Garoppolo needs to stop screwing around because if he has one more game like that one where he kept going, okay, guys, I think I got him, and just throwing it in the air. Did you see that in slow-mo? I mean, come on, man. Give me a break. You know, we can't rely on the defense, Kim, but at least we know it's there. At least we know it's there now. You know, now, I mean, let's be honest. Don't get excited about the Green Bay game. The Green Bay game. Don't get excited about that. Just, you want a cookie? Every Raider fan came at me, oh, wait, we're on track. Green Bay is about as broken a team as there is right now. Everyone that meant anything has left Green Bay. They're on this little puppy quarterback that's been sitting behind Aaron freaking Rodgers for 4 years. Think about that. He's a rookie. He's cheap. And he could be your franchise. But you still are trying to squeeze every drop out of Aaron Rodgers. Doesn't that say something about the kid? I mean, if he was the truth, wouldn't they have given him the job sooner? I mean, it's not like Aaron Rodgers wasn't trying to get out of town. He's over there using that ayahuasca, man. You get on this ayahuasca, man, you start to see people in the ether lights. It's amazing. I was on this trip. Would you shut up already? For one, I don't remember anybody, and I mean anybody, looking at Aaron Rodgers and saying, hey, dude, why don't you tell me about what crazy, whirly garbage is going between your ears right now? Pass. I hate that guy. I have never, and I mean never understood why anyone gives a flying flip a while. You like that? A flying flip. You can use that, Tommy. Why would anyone care what Aaron Rodgers thinks about anything? Darkness retreat. I wish you would have got lost. Just accidentally walk off the cliff. Oh no, we don't have Aaron Rodgers anymore. Oh, that's so sad. Shuts the door. Yes! Just shut up, A-Rod. The greatest thing that happened this season thus far is that guy getting hurt. Vernell Kapanen said, shout out from April and Vernell. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. We are about to put them foots in them Patriots. You know, Travis, we have a better defense, in my opinion, but I'm worried that Belichick can game plan Josh McDaniels. You got to remember, these guys have been working together for a decade plus. I mean, although Josh McDaniels may be able to change some things about his offense, he's not going to be able to change enough that their defense won't know what's coming. I'm sorry. I believe it's like they might as well have video on us. Josh McDaniel may have put new wrinkles into his offense, but I'll put it to everyone this way. With the game with the Patriots, okay, when they go into that game, okay, we're going to think this in the beginning, but we decide at the end, and that is this. One coach or the other should handle the other. In other words, Belichick should decisively beat us, or McDaniels should decisively beat him. I don't think there's any in between, because they're either going to know what the other guy is doing or they don't. And then it's just going to come down to men on the field. And if it comes down to men on the field, I don't know why I'm getting this intense right now, but it feels good, so I'm going with it. But either man, whichever coach gets a hold of the other guy and kind of figures out what they're doing, that's who's going to win the game. And that's why I feel like it's going to be Belichick. Because I don't think Belichick is a genius like everyone says. I don't think that at all. You know what I mean? I don't think that at all. But what I do think, though, is that he's smart enough to game plan a stooge that we're Tommy, you can use that one too. A stooge that's basically been, you know, the butler busboy to this point. And he still looks like a butler bust nitwit. I can't stand it. Love you too. Appreciate the love, Kim. No, Corinna, he's not going to agree to do anything like that. And he's going to play dumb right until the last second. He knows when the camera's on. He knows those guys were holding up their phones and all that. He knows he's on video. He just doesn't care. I mean, and would you? You know, I mean, he's pretty rich. I mean, he's not rich like other owners are rich, but he's rich. You know, he gets to do what he wants. He gets 20-year-olds to date him, even though he's a... You remember that old thing that people used to say? I would take my dog's butt and shave it and teach it how to walk backwards. I can't finish the whole thing, but that's sort of the Mark Davis kind of, he's the punchline of that. Yeah. Travis Kelly said, Kansas City looks terrible. Travis, I know you watch me a lot, and I know you hear me when I'm talking about these, and I'm being honest with you. You remember me saying that I felt like this was the year that they were going to be vulnerable. You notice now Travis Kelce has got a pop star in his luxury box. Patrick Mahomes is talking more and more about his brother and his wife and their internet issues. And then he's doing commercial after commercial after commercial. Now, there's nothing wrong with commercials, but they are a distraction. They do get you tired. They do force you to fly more. They do force you to get less rest, sometimes not eat as good and nutritious food. Nutritious food. And sorry, I don't mean to laugh at my own jokes. I'm just skipping around today. So I felt like this was it. You know what I mean? Because these last couple of years, if you notice, even when they won their first Super Bowl, they didn't get all this press, all these commercials and all over ESPN. They were still getting that hype, because the league loves them, obviously. But they weren't pushing them like they push them now. Now you just see a Chiefs player or a Chiefs commercial or something Chiefs almost every 5 minutes. And we're not even in Kansas City. Imagine what it's like in Kansas City or, states around that. I mean, for gosh, I might vomit just, thinking about it. Omar Godoy says, Bear, I'm confused about Jacob's production or lack thereof. I will answer that for you. Tom Shepard, Bear! Have you checked out Max Crosby's podcast, The Rush? It's very good. Tom, I have. I just wish that he could be more honest about certain things that are within the football. That's why I don't like when players do podcasts. If you get what I'm saying, that guy, 11 for the Dallas Cowboys, I'm forgetting his name now, PM, the linebacker that's so good. He has a podcast, and he has a lot. Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons has a really popular, webcast, and I watched it. It's stupid. I mean, you can see my room. You can see my, my sofa back there. You can see some boxes and stuff like that. See, that's doing a show. You can have a set, but I mean, he's got this camera like this on his face. And all you see is his face all the time. And there's nothing that looks worse when a loser makes excuses for why they lost or how they lost. You never do that. He's just obviously too young to understand that. I wish I was his friend, because I would just pull him aside and say, Micah, shut up, bro. Shut up. Talk about how you're excited about the future. Talk about your players and how you respect them. Talk about your coach and how he fired you up on something. But don't talk about the Niners. Don't talk about the Niners. Don't look at them. Don't look their direction. When you see a Niner in public do something stupid, shut your mouth. Because the moment you say something about it, it takes the attention off of the Niners' stupid thing and back on you for talking about them when they just beat the living mollywop out of you. You don't get to talk when you get spanked. And you especially don't get to say that the better team lost. It's just, shh. Learn from that, gentlemen. Learn from that. Now, Omar Godoy, as far as Josh Jacobs' timing, I can tell you exactly what it is. It's very simple. And I'm not trying to be a smart ass. I'm just simply saying there is one simple thing. And sometimes when it's simple, we refuse to accept that that's what it is. When in reality, that's what it is. Plain and simply. He's in good shape. He's as strong as he's ever been. He's as fast as he's ever been, but his timing. Now, if you're in a race car, and I know you can visualize this, you know exactly how fast you want to be going into that turn. Then we start to brake a little bit, and then we go. Okay. It's the driver who best determines that and accelerates and so on, that handles that turn the best, that wins races. Now, when I say that, I'm comparing that to Josh Jacobs. And right when he gets the ball handed to him in his arms by the quarterback, he now has a split second to read everything and then make decisions, start to make guys miss. And he himself has said on multiple interviews that that's his only problem right now. His actual physical speed timing is not translating from his head to his eyes like it normally does. And that's just plain and simply rust. Now, he held out. So during all that holdout, didn't he work out? The answer is yes. He worked out with a trainer. He worked out every day. The problem is that does not replicate football reps, and nothing else does. You have to have football reps. Now, when I say that, what I mean is he needed to take snaps and try to make Raider defenders during the practice field, make them miss, see their timing and how to adjust it. So now then he could translate that to guys on other teams when they came after him. He didn't have that. And so they just gave him the ball and said, go be great. And he didn't have that transition time yet. But I can say this, Omar, he's not a flash in the pan talent. His first 3 years in the league, his records were further and better than Bo Jackson's and Marcus Allen, two guys that are basically Mount Rushmore for running backs for Raider Nation. So if he was putting up numbers comparable and in some instances better, I don't think that he's got a problem. He just needs to get his timing on. And I really believe him when he says that, because it just makes sense to me. Bear, I definitely agree with you. We will beat the Swifties. The Swifties. I love that they're allowing that too. I mean, how could you allow that? Talk about demasculating your entire football team. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with ladies. There's nothing wrong with ladies. God knows I have a great one in the other room. But I mean, it can't seem like your girlfriend's fighting for you. You know what I mean? It's just football. Doggone it. And even that's going to be different soon. I'm seeing more and more girls playing football now. So, and I don't have a problem with it. Michael Purefoy, hey, Bear, we're flying out to Las Vegas tomorrow for the game against the Cheatry. It's nice. How exciting. You have a great time, brother. Hey, take pictures. Tag your boy. Let's see. Patriots at Raiders, Raiders at Bears, Raiders at Lions. Yeah. You have the home and away opposite, but I agree with your predictions. Thank you, David Sosnowski. And I realized I did say it backward. I just didn't go back and go, sorry. But that was for you, David. Let's see. Rude Boy Raider. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. There's only two things that make me wonder about being the Patriots. McIdiot is going back to his daddy's house, and Belichick also knows Garoppolo. So, yeah, you're seeing what I'm saying. We play the Giants. Yes, Ramon Gallegos. I'm sorry, I said it backwards. Dustin King, the key to winning the home field advantage is winning home games. I love seeing the Packers hang their heads in defeat after paying those high ticket prices. Those fans won't be back. Yeah, Dustin King. Actually, you're seeing that throughout the league this year. I thought that we had a pretty embarrassing turnout in our game at home against the Steelers. And then I noticed the week after that, you saw it at another team. And the week after that, you saw it with another team. And it's kind of a thing happening now. Although when you take shots at someone, I mean, if I say I'm going to put foots in these people, blah, blah, blah. And then after that, let's say the following year, now all those things I was criticizing about that team and they fix it, then I feel like I'm obligated to say something positive about something that I may have bashed in the past. So I'm going to say this. The Niners fan base right now is standing up. They're standing up. Now, I took an undefeated team because they usually aren't this loud early on in the season, but they're doing a good job. They're probably the only fan base I've seen this year that not just held home court for their fan base, but like damn near bought every seat, it seemed like. So the Niners and what they're doing over there, their fans are catching on. So hopefully now they'll remain that way, even if they start losing. Yeah, I said it wrong, Tony. That's my bad. But that's where I would just flip it. I feel like the game, those two games where we have the home field advantage, I feel like we're going to win those. And then the Patriot game and the last one, it's not skipping my mind. Hold on. Oh, sorry, the Giants. Okay, so right. I don't know. I see 2-2. I'm worried about the Lions, and the Bears guys might be a problem. I don't know if you guys saw the game where the Bears played. It was just last week. The Bears played the Commanders, the Red Commanders, the Commander Skins. Such a stupid name. Glenn Medina, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. I'm doing good. Matt Marinovich said Mumford needs to be right tackled and Eleanor at right guard. Matt, you might see that because we've already seen quite a few offensive line combinations. I don't know why they wouldn't try another one if they think it could work. So it's good to see you too, Glenn. I appreciate that. David Sognosky, if I was going to bet on Gruden or McDaniels, I would bet on. Well, I'm sorry, I was reading that the wrong way. If I was betting on Belichick versus McDaniels, I would never bet on McDaniels. Never. Because Belichick's shown he's a head coach. He might not be winning now, but he's a head coach. There's no doubt about that. All right, David Draper, let's see if I answered your question. Good looking profile picture. What cute babies. Legit question, Bear. We know what we are with Jimmy G, and I'm not saying bench him right now, but what's the record got to be before you start pounding the table and want to see AOC and see what he has to offer? Wow, David, appreciate the great question. I've already said I thought it would be week 8. I just want to make that clear. I'm not flip-flopping. I said week 8. Now, for a minute there, it looked like it was going to be week 4. You know, I was going to be off by a lot, but I was thinking by week 8. I think that Jimmy Garoppolo is probably going to get another little nick up, injury. Remember, he did something with his foot. It wasn't a big deal. They just said it was sore, from the surgery and from the fact that he was doing some planting and so on. And then concussion protocol. Now, moving forward, what else might happen? I hurt my shoulder when that last guy tackled me. And then you're pulling AOC out there more. Now, don't get it twisted. From what I'm hearing, AOC can only keep his job, if he really balls out. He would have to really ball out, because from what everyone's saying, Josh McDaniels is setting up things to go after Caleb Williams, to make an offer that no one can refuse. And then he feels like Mark Davis will then, back off from firing him and say, okay, Raider Nation, we got to give him even more time now, because we know we just got LeBron James at quarterback from USC, which is what people will believe. And I know a lot of you, right when I said LeBron James of football, you don't agree with that. I get that, because I don't know if he is as athletic as LeBron James. But as far as his build, his strength, his height, he does look like he's a durable kid. But then again, you look at Richardson with the Colts, he's already hurt twice. They just started the season. What's his name? Bryce Young with the Panthers can't get a win. Although CJ Grant's doing real well. Been surprised about that. Mark Vargas, Bear! You have that backwards Raider Bear. Yes, I did. Max Crosby is your best D lineman only. John LaJoy, okay, as usual, your football acronym, I give it to you. But at the same time, how many other teams have two bookends that can really rush the quarterback? Maybe two, maybe three teams. The Niners, obviously, the Eagles. There's a few teams, but not the Bills. I don't want to keep naming teams, but you get what I'm saying. It's the exception that's not the rule. It's way harder. I mean, it's so easy for us to say, but Max Crosby is special because he's special. So now we'd have to find someone that's special on that side. It's hard, to get that twice. And you have to commit to it. If they commit to it this next draft, they would do it, but they're not going to. They're going to go with Caleb more than likely, and then try to fit someone else somewhere else. What's up, champ? Did you come play with daddy? You little monkeys? They're not French bulldogs. They're headed demons. And now, without further ado, I would like to introduce to you that woman that needs no introduction, but has one of the best in the business. That red-headed lady of rage. Woo! The Mama Bear. Hey. Watch the good. I'm the talent. Okay, watch those nails. Okay, give that up. Come on now. Okay, here we go.
Did you put this chair here for me?
So what? Yeah, I did. Just so you can say hello. What's up, Oso Raider? Oso Raider's in the house, Ma Bear.
Hi, Oso.
Okay, Glenn Medina says, what's our next move about McDummy? Well, Glenn Medina, if he was able to somehow, I'm just giving you a quick, synopsis here, but if he was somehow able to put together a package that got him all the way up to the top and he could select Caleb Williams, it doesn't even matter if that's the smart pick. Because remember, Mark Davis is a name guy. He likes to pick guys that have names. That's why John Harbaugh is still at college coaching people, but you're hearing John Harbaugh's name starting to get floated around as the next coach of the Raiders, which in my opinion would just be Mark Davis buying another 4 years of us not wanting to impale him with a very sharp 3-pointed fork from a building. Dead serious. Yes, did I put some thought into that? Yes, in a dream I was having. I just kept going like that to him, just over and over again. Do your damn job. Oh, sorry, honey. The nightmare. Oh, good Lord. Rick Samurano. What's up, man? Always there for a Raider Bear and Island Jen. They took such good care of me and Mama Bear when we were out in Vegas. Didn't Belichick game plan McDaniels last year also, and we still won with a lesser talented team? Well, John Leon, John, welcome to the show. Honestly, I don't think that means anything. I really don't. I just really don't. I would have chalked it up more to luck. I hope we win, but I'm not the kind of Raider fan that just goes, okay, here's the schedule. We're going to go here and we're going to win. And then we're going to go here and win. And then we're going to go home and win. And then we go on the schedule and we're going to win. And then you know what we're going to do on that Thursday night game, bro? We're going to win. No, there's going to be games we lose. I'm not going to sit here and tell you every single game. Denver basically kept the long ball out of play, so KC just nickel and dimed him. Yeah, honestly though, but Rick Samarano, that's the problem. The Kansas City Chiefs have shown that they can beat you multiple ways. And I also have a play that they run that I swear to you, if Josh McDaniels would just let me have 5 minutes with him, I would stop the Chiefs. And I mean that seriously. I don't know why these coaches don't see this. It's just the most basic stuff. Okay. Watch. If you have 2 wide receivers on your right-hand side, all you have to do is say, snap the ball. The ball gets snapped to the quarterback. Okay. Now the 2 gentlemen, one takes off, but the other one hesitates just for a moment. Okay. Now what he does is then run behind that wide receiver. Now, what does this do? It creates a log jam because the defender on the other side can't get past his teammate. He has to run around him. So for just a second, the person is wide open if he runs behind his own teammate. They run that in the red zone so many times, it's almost embarrassing. I feel so bad for these teams because they're just not seeing it. I see it. I've shown Mama Bear. They'll run it in different ways. For example, have 1 wide receiver over. So now you've been doing all your film studying. There was always 2. So they send 1 over there, but then they try to trick you. Then when Patrick Mahomes starts calling out his cadence, he motions a guy all the way from the other side, and then he has you. And now you're in the wrong defense, and he's about to smoke you. And it's because Andy Reid is ahead of everyone else. He just is. You can say what you want about Andy Reid, that he's a doughboy, that his kids are like Colombian drug dealers. Look it up. It happened, okay? The judge insulted Andy Reid for having raised 2 kids that he had no clue were these 2 like Colombian drug dealers, and they were big. They were funneling money from daddy into a lot of illegal stuff. But anyway, long story short, Andy Reid has forgotten more football than most people will learn, and he will run plays just to see how you react to it. And if you react to it poorly, he throws a variation of that at you. And remember, with his offense as good as it is, he can do that during a drive and just figure out what you're doing and then say, okay, well, we get the ball in the next drive, we're going to do this to that defense, and they're going to get smoked. And that's what they do. And until a defensive coach sees that and can get those commands out to the players, there's just not a lot you can do about it. I hate to say that, but Andy Reid dominated with the Eagles and Donovan McNabb, and he went 4 or 5 years in a row where they were the division champs and they couldn't be touched, and he couldn't get over the top and get a Super Bowl. Well, it looks more and more like that was on McNabb because now he's got this little Patrick Mahomes, and he's got 2 rings, and if he gets his 3rd, it would be in Vegas. Mama Bear just channeled all of Raider Nation.
I can already see all the memes coming from if they win in Vegas.
All I said was, his Mama Bear, if they win the next one, it'll be in Vegas. And she looked at me and just went,
The person that should be winning one in Vegas is us.
Yeah. Okay, so the next big rumor that's going on right now, and I'll be honest with you, it does have some validity, is whether or not we're going to move off of Hunter Renfrow. I don't think there's any doubt we're going to. It has nothing to do with whether he's a good player or not. It has everything to do with getting draft picks, position, and or just another good player. You're hearing right now that there's a wide receiver with the Patriots that they would be willing to trade for us or to us for Hunter Renfrow. And I think it was like a 7th round pick or a 6th round pick or something like that. Now, to the audience, sometimes you see that and you say to yourself, wait a minute, why should I have to give up a pick and Hunter Renfrow just to get one player back? The reason often has to do both with their draft positions, also their contracts and what they cost to make them balance, et cetera, et cetera. And so sometimes it doesn't have anything to do with value. It just has to do, you have to match contracts to make the money work. Kim Calhoun, Mad Max is tired of carrying the team, but my experience is that that's what he's going to keep doing because the Raiders have to find a talent on the other side of the football. But the problem with that is they have problems on other spots on the team as a result of our poor coach, Josh McGurr. I better take that blood pressure thing again. Oh, I can feel my head boiling. No, but seriously, there's other positions they want to make moves at. They want to get another wide receiver. They want to get another offensive lineman. And then by the time you get down to the 4th and 5th pick, you're not going to find a guy on the defensive line that can give you what Max gives you. You might, because remember, we got Max that way as a 4th round pick. So if you can get Max level talent in the 4th round. To me, that says you can still find someone. You just have to scout better. I'm tired of Jimmy G and how he doesn't have a good arm. He's so predictable. Yeah, Kim, unfortunately, they can't create separation right now. That's the problem. And so what you're doing is you're making the field tighter and tighter when Jimmy can't throw the ball back enough to make them back up and respect his arm. We haven't seen that yet. Now, I'm not going to go as far as everyone else and say he can't do it, though. I don't think it's that he can't do it. You have to understand, Derek Carr used to do this to us and drive us crazy. There were times where he would not throw the deep ball, even though we all know he had the deep ball. He's got one of the stronger arms in football. So why didn't he throw it more? Because he was afraid of his percentages going down, and that affects his resume and how much money he gets on his next contract. And it's smart. I don't blame him. I would have probably done the same thing. And so what he did was keep his interceptions down, keep his passing quarterback ratings high. And so you're seeing that from Jimmy Garoppolo. And I'll be honest with you, Jimmy Garoppolo is even worse. He's much worse than Derek Carr. Because right now I can take you into the NFL statistics, and it shows a lot of Jimmy Garoppolo kicking a lot of butt. You know what I mean? Tanamoku, I have heard about Shaq also wanting to put a team out there, but when the idea was floated for Shaq to join LeBron James, he turned it down. And I'm not making a joke. I don't know why. I'm not trying to insult him or anything. I just know I can report that LeBron wants a team in Vegas, and so does Shaq. And it's going to be a competition to see who gets it, because when the idea was floated to LeBron James, he said, I'd think about it. When they floated the idea to Shaq, he said, no. No. You know how deep his voice is. That's all he gave him. I heard where the Steelers could possibly bring in Gruden to replace Matt Canada at OC. What are your thoughts, Steeler Val? What do you think? Okay, so side conversation, Travis Kelly, I like that. But let me just put my 2 cents into everybody else. I don't like it. I don't like it. And I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's just people talking. I don't think John Gruden, would you get off your couch to go coach as just an offensive coordinator, not a coach, but just as an offensive coordinator? Could you imagine if when he goes to court, he loses? What are you going to do? Stay in your job? You can go down to a janitor or something like that. It's ridiculous. I just don't. I see no lane for Gruden that makes sense other than go win your lawsuit. Then when all that's over, no one will care about this anymore. If he wins the lawsuit and he gets all this mega millions, why would he actually work anymore? He won't. That's the answer. He won't. And he's not going to work for these guys either. The idea that he goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers is stupid. It's just stupid. And I'm not calling anyone stupid. I'm just saying it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. I hate stories like this that catch fire. And I'm not messing with you. I'm being honest with you. This story has caught fire. They've talked about one of the wide receivers. Why are we so hot for a wide receiver right now? I mean, Devontae Adams obviously is fantastic. The other kid on the other side we got from the Patriots has been really good. And then we still got that kid Wilkerson and that guy Turner. And I mean, what are we doing? We haven't even started hitting Michael Mayer yet. Can somebody, my Italian's coming out when I get this frustrated. Can somebody tell me why we're not seeing a Michael Mayer anymore? My wife's dad is just like that. And his brother comes down all the time from Chicago and he's just forget about it. They're so funny. Brent Knipe, I keep hearing rumors about Chase Young. Do you think we'll trade for him? Brent Knipe, I'm worried about that deal because if you really think back and if you're being objective, you know that guy's been on and off the injury table, and it's the worst kind of ways. He'll get a hamstring, but it's a hamstring pull, not a hamstring tear, which you have no timetable for. Whereas with the tear, you go get him a surgery. He goes into rehab. He'll be back in 4 months. But when you have a bruise, it can go on, the whole damn season. You know what I mean? And that's his problem. He gets bruises. He gets, concussions and contusions, but he doesn't get breaks. So he ends up being out all the time. And think about what he's done for the Redskins or Commandos. Commandeers. So stupid. But have you seen what he's done for them? Nothing. He done nothing. But could he do something opposite of Max Crosby? Now we're talking. So, I think it would work because even if I'm right about his injury table time, there will still be more games probably that he's going to be out on the field and playing well. And in the game I watched him play just this last one against the Bears, he looked good. The Bears gave him the business, but he looked good. He played well. He got pressures and he looked good. Hi, Anna Diaz Rincon, my first subscriber ever. What's up, love? Welcome to the show. Yeah, we do need better linebacker play, Glenn Medina. I would look, if I was going to look somewhere, I'd look for that. Because right now, the only linebacker I see playing is Robert Spillane, the very guy I told you are all going to fall in love with. Who has not fallen in love with Robert Spillane? I mean, come on, man. I know he's playing over his shoes, you know what I mean? He's not really the most gifted athletic guy, you know what I mean? He's like a tweener, you know what I mean? On a scale of 1 to 10, he's not a 5. He's a 6.5. You know what I mean? So it's like one play you go, yeah, okay, look at him there. All right. But he did get 2 interceptions in this last game. And really both of them were errant throws. You know, he didn't get an interception because of his gifted talent. He just, he was in the right place at the right time. But that counts. Film study and honoring your position and knowing what's going on in front of you puts you in position to make plays like that. So I'm not taking anything from him. I just mean it wasn't from athleticism. Caleb Williams is too cocky, already saying that we are where he wants to go. We won't draft him as long as this regime is there. They need someone to follow their system. Well, John, welcome to the show again, and I appreciate the comment. And the only reason why I would disagree with you is because of who he is. If this was another quarterback coming in that was even slightly looked at as the second or third best quarterback, they wouldn't do it. But if they get the pieces and can go all the way to the top for Caleb, they have to pull the trigger. That's what I'm saying to you, John. It's a different era with the NFL. And it's why I ask people to watch my show more than they watch these other knuckleheads, because most of these other knuckleheads, they do a good show and it may be entertaining, but they don't really tell you what's up because they don't know. But the truth of it is, the business dictates that pick. For example, if I'm a pretty good coach, but my record is 58-58. Okay. And the owner's thinking about letting me go. There's no way I turn away from Caleb Williams, even if I'm not sure about him, because he buys me time as a coach. And then, God forbid, what if he does pan out? Now he's just paid for my next 4-year contract. He gets to the playoffs or just plays rookie, gets rookie of the year, and then we make the playoffs. Oh, next season, we're right in the, the thick of things to, be in the playoffs. Mark's going to sign the contract on that extension. Boom. No problem. And he loves, I mean, like I was saying before, Mark Davis loves flashy picks. He loves flashy picks. Kim said, I want AOC and Jimmy can't throw the ball downfield. Yeah, AOC needs to stop screwing around and just take the bull by the horns. The only thing I can tell you that's negative, because everyone's already in love with AOC. I'm the person who is I picked AOC before the Raiders did. I have proof. I have multiple people in my comments that have watched my show. They saw me do it. I said AOC should get picked. That's the guy. After the 1 quarterback and the 2 quarterbacks, Bryce Young and CJ Stroud, after those 2, I said, okay, that's it. It's AOC. If we're going to get a guy, it should be that guy. And then we got it. So now, have we seen the talent? Yes. Does he have the size and the knowledge? And in my opinion, the toughness, way off the charts. This guy is John Wayne. Okay. But John Wayne is a cowboy from before most of you were born, including me. Yes, you too, Tommy. And he was a real tough guy. And I see a lot of that in him. I think that AOC can be really good for us. It's just a matter of him getting the offense down. Because I would be honest with you, there's parts of that offense, even though he's smart enough to adapt to it, I don't think he's ready to flat play it. Although I did compliment him in the fact that he doesn't wear an arm sleeve. I don't know how many of you noticed that. He's not wearing the arm sleeve. CJ Stroud, Bryce Young are, but he's not. That means to me, he knows enough of the playbook that they're not afraid to. I think it might be an a la carte menu too. I think he may have a smaller, package of plays that they put in for him that he runs well. Because I don't know if you noticed, but he seems to run a lot of variations of the slant and the bubble screen when he has Jimmy Garoppolo out there. But when he puts AOC in, suddenly that deep post slant is there. You know, he and Jimmy can hit those plays. He can. You know what I mean? I hate saying that because everything goes back to analogies in Vegas. I don't mean to do it, but we really are. You know, they've got to put all their chips on the table and give not just Garoppolo but AOC a chance to air it out a little bit and let the better man win. Elon Bush, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. That's a man who smiles like I do because he found his second other. So far, if you don't invite me to the wedding, we're not going to speak anymore. At least until I get over it. I came to the show late, but has Bisaccia's name come up yet? Elon Bush, Bisaccia's name won't come up. That's yet another thing that they just keep out there. They love to go back to a couple years ago and talk about, was that a big mistake that the Raiders made in not holding on to Rich Bisaccia? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And to be honest with you, it's just trolling the Raiders because everyone knows that guy's not a head coach. Okay, ready? Should we or should we not have given Bisaccia a chance to be the head coach? I can find you 5,000 Raider fans that think the answer is yes. You guys are watching the wrong show. So please consider sharing this show we're watching right now. Just reach down right there. Maybe it's on that side and hit that share button. And if you care, you share a Raider Bear. And don't forget, please, I'm trying to get my YouTube presence up. So I'd even appreciate it if you just grab my link, go out in some of these groups that you go out into and say, love the Raider Bear. Love him. You have to do that part of it. Say, love him and do this hand motion. You can do it. Come on. Mr. Raider Bear, Spillane seems to be working out better for you than he was for us. Steeler Val, if you remember, I actually told you that. I was saying that even though the Steeler fans were acting like, no big deal, I did hear reports that a lot of people, knew that you were losing a locker room guy. And when I heard that, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Because see, you notice I was going into researching Spillane under the idea of how he plays, how he responds to blitzes, and is he, capable of being the captain? And then that's all I heard was that this guy was ready to go. And the Steelers regretted, dropping that ball because they feel like they put in their time with him. They got him to being a great athlete. And then it turns out he's a great locker room guy. Everyone in the locker room loved the guy. And when he left, it bothered them. So I was glad to hear that because it meant all those positives they were losing, we were gaining. So I like Robert Spillane a lot. Let's see. What do you think of our current starting cornerbacks? I think their coverage is too soft, not enough picks. Nicholas Maida, I'll be honest with you, we're trying to work on Jacorian Bennett. And, whenever you have a guy that's that gifted, that means you're going to have more problems. Now, I realize when you think of how gifted he is, you start thinking of Deion Sanders, and is he going to get interceptions and be able to just blanket guys? Now, he thinks that. That's the problem. And so for at least a little while as he starts his career, he has to be humble and recognize that once he's been there for year 2, year 3, every time he lines up in front of one of these wide receivers, they're one of the best. Remember when we pulled these guys out of the college ranks, they only take 300-400 players out of 3,000-4,000 players. You see what I'm saying? And so year after year, when he faces the new wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins, he's got to be on his game and ready to go. But see, he's too young to understand that right now. For example, I know Jacorian Bennett's been losing a little bit of weight. He's getting a little skinnier. And he was already a skinny guy. So they're getting on him about the nutrition. But remember, they had the exact same problem with Divine Diablo. Divine Diablo now, his weight is better than it's ever been for the Raiders because he had to learn how to get his menu, get his routine of how he ate and when and what, not fast food, so that he doesn't lose weight throughout the season because he's already a smaller linebacker as far as weight. He's muscular, he's strong, but he's just not a tall guy. Or not a heavier guy either. John Wayne was a badass. That's what I meant, Nicholas Maida. Yeah, Rick Samarano, AOC does need to learn because the honest fact is every time we saw him make any mistake in the preseason or in any of the camps or anything he was doing, it was only because he was still trying to remember, okay, does this one go here? Does that guy go there? You know what I mean? The playbook is one of the deepest in football. Now, I'm starting to get sick of saying that, though. I'm starting to get sick of hearing that. At some point, Josh McDaniels has to take responsibility for his team not doing what he does. For example, Raider Nation, do not listen to him anymore. I've given him a leeway, but I'm done. Okay. And I mean in this one way. If you're a teacher and all your students are getting Fs, that's your fault. Now, you may not have a lot of smart kids in your class, but they can't all be dumb and they can't all be as low as Fs. Maybe some of them would get Bs and Cs if the teacher put a little bit more effort into the person in his class, sitting in his seat, instead of looking at him as a number and how much money they're going to collect and whether they're tenured and blah, 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 blah. It takes people to care. I've told this story before, but I'm going to tell it just one more time real brief, and I apologize because we're almost at the end of the show. But I used to coach a lot of basketball. I used to coach little kid league basketball, 4th, 5th, 6th, right up to high school. But I had a lot of teams where the kids were pretty young. And I always liked those teams much better. Now, they had 6 coaches, 6 teams. I was awarded 1. My son wanted me to be a coach because he didn't want to go there and not know anybody. So I went in, I said, okay, I became the coach. I took my son and his guys, and it was boys and girls. It wasn't just boys. And every team had a certain amount of girls and boys. And I took them aside. I had a boy that I swear to you, he looked like one of those pop arts, little bobbleheads. He was maybe 2 feet tall. He was the tiniest little guy I've ever seen. He could dribble, but very small. At his top height, he would touch your knee. Okay, he was really short. God's honest, he had red hair. It like shaved right down to his head, red hair. So his mom and dad were like, oh, he really wants to play, but he's so small, this, that, and the other. So I found out in practice that he could shoot from really far because he had taller brothers and sisters, and they would always block his shots. So he had to learn how to throw it from way out there, i.e. Steph Curry. So I watched him at practice. I'm all, show me. And he was like all nervous. I'm all, just show me. And he showed me one, and he had this kind of like catapult where he'd use his whole body. He wouldn't shoot forward. He would take a dribble, turn his body sideways, and it was almost like a sky hook, but he would snap the ball forward, and it would go from really far, and he'd put it down. I had him shoot 6 or 7. He made 5 or 6. I said, I pulled him aside and I said, listen, get ready to shoot that shot because we're going to get you that shot. So my son was the point guard and he could handle the ball real well. And they were going around, they were making certain passes. And I would say, bring it around. And he would pass it to the top. The top would give it to my little redheaded kid. And I'd say, let it go. And he's like, what? And he hesitated at first. So I called him over. I'm all, when you get the ball, shoot. We're going to give you room. We're going to give you a screen. So my son comes back around again. He throws the ball up to the top. I know the kid's going to get the ball now. So my other center comes over, gives him a little screen. He gets the ball, shoots it, goes in. And he he stopped playing basketball and just looks at me like, I did it. I did it. He was like so stunned. I'm all, go. So he kept playing. He took about 6, 7 shots. He made 5. And he was one of the leading scorers. So end of the game, God's honest, his mom and his dad come running down. She's crying. She hugs me around my neck. You'd have thought I was a returning war veteran. She was like just clutching me. We didn't know our son was this good. I said, yeah, he's pretty good. His dad's all shaking my hand. Yeah, thank God. They were glowing. But it was awesome. And I like doing that for people because not enough people have themselves, centered. They could be greater athletes. They could do more things. You know what I mean? But you have to take your athletes and work with what you have. You don't sit back and make excuses that they can't learn the system. They're not smart enough to run what I'm running. So I guess I better trade guys and get better people in. To me, as a coach, that's an admission of failure. And I realize we've all been getting on Josh McDaniel. I just did it again. I put foots in him. But it's just true. I'm praying that he can get it together, but I don't think he will. This might be the comment of the night. I know who the Duke is, Mr. Raider Bear. I watched some of his old movies with Grampy. Right on, Tommy. Tommy, you're fast becoming one of the coolest kids I know. I'm just saying, and I know a lot of kids, okay? And for you to be one of the coolest ones, you got to know some people to get the bear to think that way. You got to know some things to get the bear to think that way about you. I'm just saying, it's true. Oh, there it is. No, don't do that. All right, that's my show. Much love. Shout out to our armed forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, National Guard, Space Force. Got you, Denton Rhodes. For all you do, the energy and love of this show is dedicated to your sacrifice. Active and veteran. Woo! Much love. And I repeat, I will be seeing you soon because I owe the nation some shows and we still have so much business to talk about. Chandler Jones has finally been shut up. Antonio Brown is still a scumbag. No, I wasn't talking about Mark Davis. Antonio Brown. Must go down. Much love. I'll see you soon. R8RBEAR Family Case. Peace. No, peace.